jingle bell rock. Welcome to the AI and Education Podcast. Ray, happy nearly Christmas.
Oh, my goodness, Dan. Is this our Christmas special?
Oh, well, it could be the two Ronnies Christmas special. All the nans come out and listen to us at Christmas afternoon after stuffing the turkey.
Well, Dan, you know, we did the awards ceremony last week, and it was overwhelming to see the reaction to that. But we said that was the last episode for the year. So amazingly, things continue to happen. So we thought we'd sneak in a little extra episode. And Dan, you've made a lot of effort there.
I have.
People watching this on YouTube can see this, but you are dressed like an elf or a gnome. You've decorated your Christmas tree. I can see an elf on a shelf behind you. That's a lot of work you put in there.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, it takes a couple of months for me to get into the Christmas spirit, but when I do, I go all out. Like, it's lovely wearing Christmas jumpers in Australia when it's really hot as well.
It's going to be 32 degrees.
You also look fantastic with your hat, and you've done your house as well with the little trees in the background.
I have a little bit of silver going on. Silver hat. In fact, I think I wore this hat 20 years ago when we were first in Australia for a Christmas.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, there's a bit of nostalgia going on today then. So when we kind of kick into this, we're going to start to look at some of the research, but then do some fun stuff.
Dan. So let's make this really clear for everybody so they don't switch off at this point. They've laughed at you dressed like that. They've laughed at me dressed like this. But the important thing is, sure, we are going to talk about some AI news, but we're then going to get into Christmas fun because I need to work out what to buy you for Christmas, Dan. Okay, so let's quickly cover the news because there has been some, Dan.
Yes, again.
So the first thing I think is interesting, there was a story on ABC, that's the Australian ABC, to say that AI developers have been given some guidance that they should clearly identify AI-generated content using like labels and watermarks in it. And this is about addressing deepfakes and actually addressing people switching their brain off at looking at AI photos and going, oh, it's real. So there isn't a requirement to do it at the moment.
Yeah, but I've seen more and more of the image generation stuff add in copyright images to things, or CR in the top. I think that was a Nano Banana thing. You are seeing a lot more of it on LinkedIn and some of those social media platforms. So it's kind of interesting.
That's right. So in LinkedIn, if you take a picture from ChatGPT or Gemini and post it into LinkedIn, it adds that label. Gemini adds a label and a watermark as well. So even if you take away the label in the bottom right-hand corner that is the Gemini logo, they actually watermark the image. So the software knows. I actually completely agree with this. I think that AI images and AI videos should be labeled and watermarked. But I don't think it's an advice thing. I think we should actually have laws. Because if we don't have laws, the bad actors will do the things they do, and then other people will follow it. So I don't think we can watermark text. I think it's only images that we can watermark.
Yeah, that's right. And there's things like this have been happening for a while anyway, haven't they? And people I suppose it does bleed into some of the old stuff we did with music copyright and images with like encrypted messages in and things like that. I'm surprised we didn't start with that. I think there was talk about it originally when image generation came out, wasn't it? Where they were going to put things in the background so you can find it easily.
Yeah, and maybe for text, what we need is a transparency note that kind of says, hey, AI helped create this, but a human has checked it and we take responsibility for it. Or AI generated this, nobody's checked it, individually, like a chatbot giving you an answer, so that you've got an understanding of where it's coming from.
Good idea. I think you could be onto something there, Mr. Fleming.
Okay. So it's as much opinion as it is news. So here's the second thing. Dan, you told me about something to do with Grok and education.
Yeah, so we've talked about this in the past as well, haven't we? Where the different providers scrape different information to provide the knowledge in their LLMs. And Grok from X, Elon Musk's platform now, I suppose, they've got announced a partnership with El Salvador to bring Grok tutoring to every public school student in the country. So that's over 1 million kids. So it's a big kind of project again, like some of these ones we've got in Australia. But that's the world's first nationwide AI tutor program. So that seems quite interesting. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's time for us to start creating a map, Dan, that we update every episode of countries that have done country by country deals. And I think it's going to be illustrative because the most important thing of this stage of development of AI, I think, is to learn what works. And so I'm not sure if I see any of these partnerships as being permanent things, because what we're going to do is learn what works and then learn who can put that into practice best.
Yeah, and the thing that wrangles in my mind, just on a bit of a boring note, but an important one, I suppose, is when you've got consumer tools like Rock, like how good they're going to be at then converting into an enterprise environment where, you have visibility over things like what the kids are putting into it, how you guardrail certain concepts. There's an entire art in that and a mechanism that you need to put in place around governance, for fraud and child protection and things. So it's interesting to see that space being filled, and it'll be interesting to see how X are going to plan on doing that.
And there's a bunch of important questions. We don't know whether you can use a standard large language model and then say, oh, now here's our curriculum documents for this country, pay attention to it, or whether you need to train a base large language model with your own curriculum. So we'll get answers to those questions, I think, over time as these country programs start to roll out. But I think it is important that we have a diverse set of experiments in order to understand what route we should be going forward. Let's base it on the output of these experiments, but let's treat them like they are. They're experiments.
Yeah, I suppose you got to think about that. Now, Hong Kong, there was an interesting article that came out of that where schools are going to get some money under the education plan.
Yeah, so
Tell us.
so Hong Kong has announced that their schools can apply to get 100,000 Australian dollars, 65,000 US dollars, 500,000 Hong Kong dollars, same number. Basically, the schools can use that money to buy AI software or to subscribe to AI software. They can buy AI hardware. But what they have to do is implement AI-assisted teaching in at least 3 subjects within the school. And then they have to run showcases for the students. They have to give them AI literacy experiences. I think it's a good way of doing it, is to say, we're not going to force you to do this, but we're going to ask you to do this. And if you are going to do it, then we'll give you funding for it.
That's great. Yeah, it's interesting what you said, like showcase AI-assisted teaching. So that gives it a bit of a broad scope there. And I suppose hopefully they can also share things, what they're doing with admin and other staff, because I've seen a lot of use cases there. But that's great.
Hey, Dan, we didn't get from OpenAI this year, we didn't get the 12 days of shipness.
We didn't. No.
They have been doing things. In the last couple of weeks, they've released GPT 5.2. So that's the latest revision of their model. Interesting thing about that one is it's taken a leap in its understanding. So there is a measure of the IQ of AI models. And GPT 5.2 Pro now gets an IQ of 147.
Do you have a specific thing? Because when I looked at this and it was embedded in Copilot already, Microsoft, I selected the model and I was sitting there with a blank prompt, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do? What is your approach when you see these new models come out? Is this something you do to test it?
I don't have a series of evaluations. One of the things that I do, though, is I'll update some of my custom GPTs to the new model, and then I will run a task. So, for example, every week I take the transcript of this crazy conversation in the podcast, and I put it into a little AI assistant that helps me generate show notes, LinkedIn posts, and things like that. I update the model in that, and I see different behaviors in each of them. So sometimes I think when we went to 5.1, it was quite dull in the way it summarized things. So yeah, I see those changes in a very practical, this is how I use it way. I don't pay too much attention to the benchmarks, because all of the AI models can already beat my IQ. Like beating it more is just less impressive.
And they also released image 1.5.
Yeah. So
OpenAI.
So do you remember, Dan, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we talked about Nana Banana Pro, and that was just stupendous images.
Yes.
So it's an attempt to catch up, but they've released it as 1.5, not as 2. So I'm guessing that they recognize it's not a huge leap. And it's
Yeah.
kind of roughly in the same area as Nano Banana Pro. It's good for some images. It's good for editing images, but photography still looks AI generated in ChatGPT, whereas in Gemini Pro, I think it looks like real photos.
Yeah. So, this has obviously been done as a sort of knee-jerk reaction from the speed at which Google have been pushing out Gemini and Nano Banana really quickly
Yeah,
recently.
look, I don't think it's super important, these two releases, and it's not like they're changing the world. They're just an increase. What probably is important is there was some news during the last 2 weeks that we should talk about. OpenAI announced that they're going to operate an Australian hosted data center. So
Yes, saw that.
this story came out. They're building in one of the new mega data centers that's being built out in Western Sydney. So next year, you'll be running ChatGPT locally. OpenAI also announced a ChatGPT for Teachers course. And
Didn't they have one of those though? Didn't they? OpenAI released a really good course recently, didn't they? Or
yeah,
last year?
yeah, there are a bunch of courses, but this one comes with a certificate, Dan.
Oh, really?
But
Better go to that
I'll
then.
tell you what was really interesting about that. At the moment, it's on Coursera, so it's a kind of normal course. But the plan is to make this available through ChatGPT directly. So think about it. A learning experience that is delivered through opening ChatGPT and starting to learn.
Oh, that's good.
So I want to know what that's going to look like, because I think that could potentially be the future of courses, maybe in the workplace to start with, but I think really interesting future.
That's great.
The other thing that was announced was La Trobe University. They announced that they have chosen ChatGPT for all of their staff and all of their students. So they're going to be providing ChatGPT education. Now, it's a staged rollout. So 5,000 licenses in 2026, and then 40,000 in 2027. So most of their staff in 2026, and then all of their students in 2027. I was intrigued by that, because
Mm.
why roll it out in 2 stages?
Mm.
Go on, Dan. Why would they roll it out in 2 stages?
I keep thinking, going back to the Grok thing, when they do these big rollouts, the only thing I can think of is that they've got something coming in terms of the governance and security. So if I was selling this, if I worked for OpenAI, I'd say to La Trobe, I'd be going, okay, we haven't got anything baked for enterprise properly yet.
Mm.
And universities are probably saying, we need governance, we need all the controls, we need the ability to manage GPTs at scale and all of that. And they probably don't have any of that. So the only thing I can think of, similarly to the Grok thing, is that they going to push out the protected version of OpenAI, the ChatGPT, and then there's a promise of something coming later on, like the management, the governance of GPTs, or an extra layer so they can give it out to more people. That would be my only thought process. Otherwise, you just give it out to everybody now, right?
Yeah. Also speculation. I mean, the reason I thought it might happen, and I'm speculating too, was we need to get our staff familiar before we give it to all of our students. And maybe that gives them a 12-month window.
Oh, true.
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's right, because actually, if you've got students using it, they could be teaching staff. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll learn over the next year. I'm hoping at some point, Dan, that we'll find a gap in the schedule to get Theo Farrell, who's the Vice Chancellor of La Trobe University, on. He's already said he'd love to come on. We just need to find the gap to bring him on. Can I ask the question directly?
La Trobe's also got elements of Copilot in there as well, and Gemini. So that's the other thing. There's lots of multi-model, or like multi-company approaches going on there, isn't it? But then there's another thing that appeared. I think we probably need a full episode on this maybe in the new year just to reflect on it. But Australia had a national AI plan that was released last week. So what were your thoughts on that?
Okay. I don't think we need an episode on it. And the reason I say that is, let me tell you what isn't in there. There are no mandatory guardrails for AI. There are no plans to introduce specific laws for AI in Australia. They say, oh, we can handle it through the existing legislation and tweak them for AI. So that's big news, because they had been talking about mandatory guardrails for high-risk projects. Now they're saying we don't need that. The other bit of news, they announced the AI Safety Institute. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. That was
yes.
And an accelerator program, which is partnerships between industry and universities. I think that is very important, because currently I think around the world, most of the really cutting edge stuff being done on AI, the research is being done by private companies, not by universities. And there's a lot of love for new data centers in there. So it's just going to be interesting. But the reason I don't think it needs a whole episode is I went to see what it said about education, because are there things in there that were important to our listeners? And listeners, I'm afraid, no, to a first approximation. So it says, yes, Australia must upskill in digital and AI skills. And yes, we must equip students for the future and the workforce for the future. But there was not a lot of new stuff in there. Things that are already underway. There's a national skills agreement, but that's not AI specific. There's the FSO Skills Accelerator. I've been part of that Skills Accelerator doing work around governance in vocational education, AI governance.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that already exist. There wasn't much that was new. And then they kind of threw in maybe AI can help with teacher workload. So yeah, that's all we would talk about in the episode. I think it is a little disappointing that AI does not have education front and center in the national plan.
Yeah, that's a good summary. And I suppose the bit that I'm still confused about is the fact that we've got the AI national plan. We've then got this new AI Safety Institute. Then we've got Lee's Center for AI there. So how all of that connect and work together. And I think they're trying to work through that. But it'd be good to be a bit clear now about what's actually happening with each of those different groups. Maybe we should get Lee on in the new year.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is create a Monty Python episode where I'm from the National AI Center. No, I'm from the AI Center, Safety Center.
Yeah, I'm from the center of AI. Yeah.
Okay, Dan, if you're confused about that, then you're just about to be very confused, because I would love to know how I can choose you a Christmas present that's got AI in it. Dan?
Well, this is my bugbear at the minute. Not about Christmas presents for me, of course, but AI useless products. We're coming up to Christmas, and we were talking last week in the last episode about drinking bottle, which had a chip in it, which is like an AI drinking bottle. And I was thinking about some of the bad Christmas ideas that I've seen in the last kind of couple of days, and it was one where people were saying, one of the good things to do for Christmas is to write a book about somebody or about family stuff using AI and gift that to people. And I'm like, it just seems like the uncanny valley of doing that. So I could write a book about you, Ray, and then just or get AI to write a book about you, point it at your LinkedIn profile, and then give it to you as a book.
So that book out there for you for Christmas, I was just about to wrap up. You don't want it?
No, I love it. I love it. Me, I love anything for Christmas. Then gifting like people a song that they've done with AI, that kind of thing. The other thing about gifting people a poem for their loved ones they've done with AI, I think when we originally got through all these things and people were writing, love letters and poems and all of this, and it sounds really good. But as soon as you tell people that it's done with AI, then it's like, But the other thing that I've seen recently as well is they've recorded chatbots in the US, some stuffed teddy bears and things, which were connected to the internet, and we're using consumer-based AI and taking children down all kinds of dark alleyways. So they've had to stop that, which is quite a serious one. But, the way people are trying to force AI into everything at the minute is just classic. And even to the level of the Coca-Cola ad, they kind of punchline the real thing. And then the adverts like all AI for Christmas. And they've done it again. So they did last year's Christmas ad and this year's Christmas ad. But then, the funny one I saw to my list of things at the top of my head at the minute was at like a pen that records your Teams meetings or your Zoom meetings. So it was like a pen that you just press a button on, and it had a audio recording device, and you put it by the side of your laptop, and then it records your meeting and then transcribes it for you. And I was thinking, do you really need that if you've got all this AI already built into Teams and Zoom? Oh, you've got it. What have you got?
Dan, I've got a pendant.
Oh,
so this is the equivalent of that pen. It's a little thing that I clip onto my jacket or shirt, and it records for me, gives me a transcript. But I don't use it to summarize meetings like you use in Teams, the summarize or whatever. I use it as a personal coach. In that last meeting, how did I do? And I've told it things to look out for me. So I can see one man's rubbish is another man's gift. Okay.
Very true.
Dan, I wonder,
Yes.
let's play a game. How good are you at understanding current AI practice? So what I've done,
Extremely good.
okay, great. I've got a quiz for you called Real or Hallucinated.
Oh,
Okay,
this will be
I
easy.
am going to tell you about a product. And actually, I'll tell you, I'm going to give you 3 products. Pay attention, Dan, because you need to tell me which ones of these 3 products are real and which ones are hallucinated. Okay, so the first product, let's go for the personal care category, Dan, because it looks like you could do with your hair smartening up a little bit. Oh, no, sorry,
Yes.
that's your green hat, isn't it? Okay, here's a product for you, the Kerastays Hair Coach. It's a smart hairbrush with a microphone in it, and it listens to the sound of your hair frizzing as you brush it, and it then gives you a brittleness score in the app.
Wow.
Okay, hold that thought. Is that likely a product or not? Here's the second one. It's called the Gums of Steel AI Flosser. So it's a water flosser with a camera tip that uses computer vision where auto targets food debris between your teeth. So you hold it up to your mouth,
Yeah.
and when it
Yeah.
spots stuff between your teeth, it then goes zzz and zaps it. And if there's nothing there, it's not zapping. I mean, that's a great way of saving water, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The third one, Dan, the third product is an electric salt spoon. So this is really good if you've got high blood pressure. It's a spoon that runs on a weak electric current through the spoon. And so it makes your tongue think that the food has got salt on it.
Wow.
Because the only place we taste salt is in our mouth. So it adjusts the taste of the food, and it tricks your brain into thinking that low sodium food tastes salty.
Wow. I love all of these.
Okay, but
I
Dan,
absolutely love all of these.
which ones of those are real and which ones are fake?
Wow.
Now, I'm going to help you here. Two of those are real.
2 of them are real.
2 of them are real. One is fake. Which one's the fake one, Dan?
The teeth one.
You are absolutely correct. The hairbrush that brushes your hair is real and tells you how brittle your hair is. The electric salt spoon is also real.
Wow.
But the Gums of Steel AI Flosser doesn't exist, so don't put it on my Christmas list.
That's a good idea, though.
Okay, Dan, 3 ideas for pet. So this is
a pet. Oh, I love this.
technology for your pet. The first is, let's call it Flappy, the Flappy Cat Flap. It's a cat flap that is equipped with night vision cameras and AI prey detection. If your cat tries to come in the door with a dead mouse or a bird in its mouth, the cat flap will lock him outside.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
idea.
how about that? Okay. The second one is a translator collar. It analyzes the pitch and frequency of your dog's bark, and it sends you a text message with their specific needs, like, I need to get out, or there's a squirrel over there. Okay, third one, Dan. The third one is called PuroBot Ultra, and it's a litter box with a camera inside it that uses AI to analyze, get this, the consistency and color of your cat's poop. And then it logs it on a stool health chart on your phone.
No, it can't be, surely. Right, I think the fake one has to be the last one, surely.
The last one.
The cat poop color.
Okay,
thing.
I've got some really bad news for you, Dan.
Oh,
All 3 of these are real.
No.
The AI cat flap comes from a Swiss startup. The bot translator, the translator collar. Now, actually, somebody's trying to do this with AI. So somebody called Zoolingua is trying to do this. There were similar products in the past.
My goodness.
And then the robotic litter box, that's made by PetKit. So you can all of those things.
Wow. On your Christmas list. Right,
Okay.
Get Amazon now quickly.
Want another round, Dan?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. This round I'm going to call the Why Does This Have a Face?
Okay.
Because
get my pen out again.
You know,
what are the 3?
You know that people are trying to anthropomorphize AI. And I mean, you really shouldn't. You shouldn't have a pet name for ChatGPT. You shouldn't call it Chatty or Kevin or whatever, because you start to think it's real. Okay, so these products have faces, Dan. The first one is the WeHead. It's a physical desktop device with multiple screens. that make it look like a human head. And it's hooked in the back end to ChatGPT, so you can have a face-to-face conversation with a robotic head that's going to nod and look at you.
Right. I like that
Okay.
idea.
The second one, it's an eye contact webcam. So it's a webcam that uses generative AI to redraw your eyeballs in real time. So even if you're reading a script or you're checking your phone, on the Zoom call, it looks like you are staring deeply into my eyes.
Well, you can kind of do that in Teams. I think that's probably real. Go on, then.
The last one, Dan, the laugh track smart speaker. This is for your Alexa box at home. It's a skill that listens to your dinner party conversation and inserts a subtle sitcom-style laugh track when it detects a
Really?
joke.
I love that. That's so good. Oh my god, all of those could be real. Oh my gosh, maybe the last one's wrong.
Okay, well, the first one, the physical tactile device, it's real.
Yeah, I thought it might be. That's very cool.
Okay, the eye contact webcam. Yes, Nvidia have got one, Apple have got one, and they don't have the physical one that I bought, which is a camera behind a mirror. And the laugh track smart speaker. Okay, that is hallucinated. But Dan, could you please buy that for me for Christmas? I want that.
We could make one.
My kids are at home over Christmas and they never laugh at my jokes. Having a little bit of AI in the corner every time I make a good dad joke going, oh, nice one, Ray. Ha, ha, ha. Honestly, that's possible.
I think it's great.
Okay. Now, I thought about a few other things as I was trying to create things that may not exist. I thought about an AI ghostwriter that takes absolutely mundane moments and turns it into those viral AI posts. Like, I dropped my toast. What does that teach me about the future of business management?
That's good.
Okay, now, the other one, I really love this idea, is a Gaslight GPT smart mirror. So you look in the mirror and you go, do I look tired, or how do I look today? And it just changes your image. So if you're looking a bit sleepy, it brightens you up. If you're looking a bit stubbly, it clears away your stubble. If you are looking unkempt, it makes you look kempt.
Oh, I love free kempt.
Yes, I don't know if that's a word. If it's unkempt is a word, then kempt must be a word as well. But how about that? That would be smart. An AI mirror that just says, oh, you look great, and shows you how great you look.
But that's got to be, you've invented something there. That'll definitely be there, won't it? Because they'll definitely have that.
I'm wondering, did they have something a bit like that down in Melbourne? You remember the mirror in the AI, was it the Air Museum?
I'm not sure. I remember we did a project before all AI was fun, and it was and I did a project with the museum in Melbourne where they had a blood exhibition. Do you remember that at all? I don't remember. I don't know if I told you about it, but they basically had blood, and they had the video camera facing the people walking in, and it would work out if you were male, female, how old you were, and then they'd spray the smell of blood into the people's faces. And then they did like an analysis you'd see when you walk through it. They were trying to work out if women were going into the medical profession, if they had more of a better tolerance for the smell of blood, and they did. Yeah, it was really weird because you'd smell blood. It was like an iron smell as you walked through, and you were like, oh, but very interesting.
That's a bit spooky, Dan. So out of all of those things, the one I want is the laugh track, the one that listens to my joke and tells me, okay, so Dan, all of this sounds crazy, doesn't it? Like a lot of these things, but I went away to do some research on unbelievable AI products for education. So let's get back to what we talk about, which is AI for education. So I reckon I'm going to nominate these 3 products as the weirdest AI products for education. These are Hall of Fame products. So the first one, so I don't know what to call this. So the product is called the Brainco Focus One headband. It's a headband that students wear that uses EEG sensors to monitor their brain activity. And then a little light on the front tells you whether you're focused, whether you're distracted.
Oh dear.
I mean, that's weird, isn't it?
It's weird, but it's quite interesting because, like, assessment for learning and things, with Dylan William, you turn cups up physically if you're red, amber, green, if you're stuck. It'll be interesting to work that out. when the HoloLens came out, if you had the HoloLens glasses, or say use Meta or whatever the glasses are, and then you could kind of work out if people were engaged and interested and happy in lessons. But you could be. That's the problem. Is it's a nuance, isn't it? It's like maybe with electronic brainwaves it's good, but you're not always going to be sitting there going like that. You could be happy and just neutral face.
Well, although you could take this product and use it in, for example, Australia, because there are no rules, you couldn't use it now in China because you're not allowed to do that kind of stuff, which is good.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Second product, which I found a bit creepy, is called the Moxie robot. So it's a small, like little robot, cartoonish, blue, kind of very Pixar. And it's designed to teach socio-emotional skills to children. So big animated eyes, moves around. And the goal for the student or child is to keep it alive. So this is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting because they do the things where you do the pregnancy. You take well, you don't actually do the pregnancy, hopefully, but it's where kids bring like a baby home with all the sensors in it, and they've got to, you get it cries in the middle of the night, and you got to put it to sleep and things.
But Dan, this is Tamagotchi, which was like a $10 thing.
Yeah,
but now suddenly it's $1,000 plus the subscription, and the minute you stop paying the subscription, it dies. Like that's just, I don't know. That's just capitalism gone mad.
But I remember Tamagotchis. That was quite fun though. What's it called? The Moxie robot.
Okay, I think I found your Christmas present then, Dan. And then the last one is Prof Jim. So Prof Jim is an AI platform. You give it a textbook, and it just...
Actually, before you go to that one, so hold on. I'm just like having a bit of a download here, this Moxie robot. I'm just having a thought about it before we go on to the next bit. Did you see that I put on the TikTok account the Neuronext robot?
Yeah.
The Neuronext robot running at me.
Yes.
And so I just had a weird experience. I thought it was worth noting when we talked the robot thing. So Adrian, who runs Neuronext, he's got these robots, and they kind of like things with arms and legs, those kind of robots.
Yeah,
right?
this is part of Neuronext's school incursion program, isn't it? Where you get them to come in and they do a whole load of AI and robotic stuff.
Yeah, and when it started running at me, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of sort of strange." But then, what really freaked me out was he was saying, "Try to push it over and kick it." And it felt very, very weird because you push it over and it becomes unsteady on his feet, but it doesn't fall over. But you actually, you got to be aggressive with it and try to kick it. And it was really, really weird having to push and kick a robot. I don't know why, but it felt like you're actually harming somebody.
Anyway, do you know what, Dan?
I just when he mentioned Moxie robot,
I would be really uncomfortable with that as well. I always say please when I'm having a conversation with ChatGPT. I'm polite and say please and thank you. And part of that is because I believe I don't want to change the way I communicate with people. And if I have lots of abrupt conversations with ChatGPT, it'll end up in the same way that I converse with people, and it will change the way I interact with people. So ask me to beat up a robot, I wouldn't want to do it for the same.
It was very weird. And so you bring the tone of the fun part of the podcast down there, but it did freak me out a bit. And it did with the kids as well, because when he was asking the kids, try to push it over, the kids are like, well, I don't really want to, because it feels anthropomorphized, because it looks like a person. Very, very odd. So back to the Uncanny Valley professor.
So Prof Jim scans your textbook, generates a cinematic quality video lesson where a little AI avatar teaches it for you.
Oh, wow.
How many dead behind the eyes AI avatar teachers are we going to have? Like there is a place for using AI to teach, but to say, oh, well, just chuck it the textbook and away it goes and log off. Yuck. Yuck. I mean, just...
Yes, very yuck.
It solves the teacher shortage problem. That's a good thing. It takes the human out of humanities. That's not a good thing. I don't know. I just like the whole, that idea just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, despite the fact that I use an AI avatar to teach my AI course.
Yeah.
Just like, we need to keep humans at the center of learning, and it needs to be an essential human experience. Now, that doesn't mean that all teaching needs to be done by humans. knowledge acquisition could be done in a bunch of different ways, but to misunderstand the role of the teacher, to think that the sole role of the teacher is to just dump information onto you.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think we sorted out our Christmas presents. Dan, I want from you the AI that's going to laugh at my jokes over Christmas dinner.
Yes, exactly. Or you could just, everybody laughs at your jokes though, right? So you don't really need AI for that, do you?
And I'm going to be getting you, I think I'm getting you, is it the Moxie robot?
Yeah, as long as I don't have to kick it.
Okay, well, lower your expectations, Dan. I'm going to fly back to the 70s and get you a Tamagotchi.
Deal.
Okay. Now we are definitely finished for 2025.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody in 2026. Have a fantastic Christmas.
You too.
There will be
That's
nothing to
okay.
talk about on AI in 2026, but we'll find something.
Yeah, we might have shorter episodes. Happy Christmas, happy holidays, everybody, and be safe. And looking forward to 2026.
And if you want to see a pair of idiots, then go and watch this on YouTube. Bye.
Bye.